Step back into the glamorous world of Charlie's Angels, the show that redefined television in the late 70s with its mix of crime-solving action, style, and unforgettable characters. Ever wondered what happened to Kelly, Sabrina, Jill, Chris, and the rest of the Angels after the camera stopped rolling? In this special feature, we take a nostalgic look at the stars who brought these iconic roles to life, exploring their lives and careers after the show, their biggest achievements, and where they are today. From the groundbreaking trio of Angels to memorable guest stars and beloved sidekick Bosley, discover fascinating stories, heartfelt tributes, and incredible then and now transformations that will make every fan smile. Jaclyn Smith portrayed Kelly Garrett in Charlie's Angels, 1976, when she was 30 years old, becoming the only Angel to stay for the show's entire 5-season run and its TV movies. Kelly was the team's calm, poised strategist, known for her intelligence, dry humor, and warm compassion. Often the most emotionally grounded of the Angels, she could be disarmingly charming in undercover roles, but also fiercely protective of those she cared about. Kelly's storylines frequently placed her in personal jeopardy, being kidnapped, shot, or targeted by vengeful criminals, allowing her to show a quiet but steely resilience. She also shared a particularly close bond with Bosley, giving the series a sense of family. Jaclyn Smith's real-life career flourished beyond Charlie's Angels. She starred in acclaimed TV movies like Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy, 1981, and Rage of Angels, 1983, becoming one of television's most beloved leading ladies. Smith then transformed into a successful entrepreneur, pioneering one of the first celebrity fashion lines at Kmart, which became a billion-dollar business model and inspired future celebrity brand ventures. Personally, she has been married 4 times and is the mother of 2 children, Gaston and Spencer Margaret. A breast cancer survivor and outspoken advocate for awareness, she continues to inspire fans with her grace and resilience. As of 2025, Jaclyn Smith is 79 years old and remains a respected icon of both television and business. David Doyle played John Bosley in Charlie's Angels, 1976, when he was 46 years old, bringing warmth, humor, and heart to the team. Bosley was the Angels' ever-loyal companion and Charlie's trusted assistant, acting as their liaison to the unseen boss and often stepping into the field when needed. Though not a trained investigator, Bosley's quick thinking and devotion repeatedly saved the Angels from danger, while his bumbling charm and corny jokes provided much of the series' comedic relief. His friendship with the Angels was sincere, and his role gave the show its heart, grounding the glamorous adventures with a sense of familial connection. Off-screen, David Doyle was an accomplished character actor with a career that spanned stage, film, and television. In addition to his role on Charlie's Angels, he appeared in films such as Paper Lion, 1968, Capricorn 1, 1977, and Coogan's Bluff, 1968, and later lent his distinctive voice to Grandpa Lou on the animated hit Rugrats. Doyle was married twice, first to Rachel and later to Ann Nathan, with whom he had one daughter, Leah. Sadly, David Doyle passed away on February 26, 1997, at the age of 67 from a heart attack, leaving a legacy as one of television's most endearing and reliable supporting actors. Cheryl Ladd joined Charlie's Angels in 1977 as Chris Monroe when she was 26 years old, revitalizing the series after Farrah Fawcett's departure. Introduced as Jill Monroe's younger sister, Chris brought a lighter, more playful tone to the trio. Initially portrayed as somewhat wide-eyed and eager to prove herself, Chris quickly matured into a capable, brave investigator, taking on dangerous undercover missions and handling them with intelligence and heart. Her youthful energy, sunny personality, and natural chemistry with Jaclyn Smith's Kelly helped keep audiences engaged and propelled the show to continued success. Cheryl Ladd's career extended well beyond the Angels, with starring roles in films such as Purple Hearts, 1984, and Millennium, 1989, plus memorable TV appearances including Grace Kelly, 1983. She also pursued a successful music career, releasing albums that showcased her singing talent, and even performed on Broadway in Annie Get Your Gun. In her personal life, Ladd was first married to actor David Ladd, with whom she had one daughter, actress Jordan Ladd. She later married music producer Brian Russell, becoming stepmother to Lindsay Russell. Known for her warmth and professionalism, she has continued to act in television movies and series, remaining a beloved figure for fans of classic television. As of 2025, Cheryl Ladd is 74 years old and continues to work steadily in the entertainment industry. Kate Jackson portrayed Sabrina Duncan in Charlie's Angels, 1976, when she was 27 years old, embodying the team's intellectual and analytical leader. Sabrina, often called the Smart Angel, was known for her sharp mind, dry wit, and ability to think several steps ahead during their cases. She frequently took on roles requiring quick thinking and calm negotiation, balancing the team's glamour with grounded intelligence and emotional depth. Sabrina was often the heart of the group, offering guidance to Kelly and Jill while maintaining a deep trust with Bosley. Kate Jackson's thoughtful portrayal made Sabrina a fan favorite and helped define the tone of the show's early seasons. Beyond Charlie's Angels, Jackson became a major television star with her Emmy-nominated performance in Scarecrow and Mrs. King, 1983 to 1987, and appeared in hit series like Baby Boom and Criminal Minds. She has been open about her battle with breast cancer, becoming an advocate for early detection and health awareness. Jackson married 3 times, including to actor Andrew Stevens, but has no children. Known for her trailblazing work in TV, she earned 3 Emmy nominations and continues to be celebrated for paving the way for strong, intelligent female characters on television. As of 2025, Kate Jackson is 76 years old and enjoys a quiet life away from the spotlight. Tanya Roberts joined at Charlie's Angels in 1980 as Julie Rogers when she was 31 years old, bringing a tougher, street-smart edge to the final season. Julie was a model-turned-private investigator who had grown up in a rough neighborhood, giving her a grittier background than previous Angels. She was skilled in self-defense, motorcycle riding, and street smarts, which often gave her an advantage in cases requiring physical courage and quick improvisation. Julie helped reinvigorate the series with fresh energy and action-oriented storylines, standing out as one of the most independent and daring members of the team. Outside the show, Tanya Roberts built a diverse acting career with starring roles in the James Bond film A View to a Kill, 1985, the sword and sorcery cult classic The Beastmaster, 1982, and the fantasy film Sheena, 1984. She later gained renewed fame playing Midge Pinciotti on That 70s Show from 1998 to 2001. Roberts married screenwriter Barry Roberts in 1974, remaining with him until his passing in 2006, though they had no children. Tragically, Tanya Roberts passed away on January 4th, 2021, at the age of 71 from complications of a urinary tract infection that spread to her bloodstream, ending the life of one of television's most memorable late-era Angels. Shelley Hack joined Charlie's Angels in 1979 as Tiffany Wells when she was 32 years old, bringing a refined, sophisticated energy to the team. Tiffany was characterized by her elegance and composure, with a background as a police officer's daughter that made her both resourceful and principled. Though her tenure lasted only 1 season, Tiffany had memorable moments, often taking on undercover assignments that required poise and intelligence, and she was portrayed as the most cultured angel of the group. Shelley Hack came to the show with a successful career as the face of Revlon's Charlie perfume campaign, which made her a household name even before joining the cast. After Charlie's Angels, Hack transitioned to producing and acting in television and film, appearing in projects such as The King of Comedy, 1982, and Frequent Flyer, 1996. She also became active behind the scenes, co-founding a media company focused on democracy building and women's issues. In her personal life, she married director and producer Harry Weiner, with whom she has 1 daughter. Known for her intelligence and philanthropy, Hack continues to be respected for her contributions both in entertainment, and in global advocacy. As of 2025, Shelley Hack is 78 years old and remains active in her humanitarian efforts. Fawcett played Jill Monroe in Charlie's Angels, 1976, when she was 29 years old. Quickly becoming the breakout star and global icon of the show, Jill was the sporty, adventurous angel, often going undercover as an athlete or race car driver, which matched Farrah's natural athleticism and effervescent charisma. Jill brought a sunny, playful energy to the team, balancing Kelly's cool composure and Sabrina's intellect, and her chemistry with Bosley and the other angels gave the show a sense of fun and sisterhood. Fawcett left after the first season but returned for guest appearances, ensuring Jill remained a beloved part of the series' legacy. Beyond the Angels, Farrah built a respected acting career, earning Emmy and Golden Globe nominations for dramatic roles in The Burning Bed, 1984, and Small Sacrifices, 1989, which redefined her image as more than just a poster icon. She had a high-profile marriage to actor Lee Majors and later a long-term relationship with Ryan O'Neal, with whom she had a son, Redmond. Farrah Fawcett tragically passed away on June 25, 2009, at the age of 62 after a courageous 3-year battle with anal cancer, and her death sparked renewed appreciation for her groundbreaking career and enduring cultural impact. Paul Kavonis guest starred in Charlie's Angels in 1978 as Asher when he was 40 years old, portraying a smooth-talking and cunning villain. Asher was a calculating antagonist who crossed paths with the Angels during a high-stakes case, using his intelligence and charm to conceal his darker motives. Kavonis brought a magnetic energy to the role, making Asher both charismatic and dangerous, which heightened the suspense and gave the Angels one of their most compelling adversaries. Beyond Charlie's Angels, Paul Kavonis built a successful television career as a reliable character actor throughout the 1970s and 1980s, appearing in popular series such as Kojak, The Rockford Files, Barney Miller, and The $6 Million Man. He was often cast as mobsters, detectives, and suave criminals thanks to his distinct screen presence and deep voice. Though not as active in film as in television, Kavonis carved out a niche as one of TV's go-to guest stars for gritty dramas and crime procedurals. Known for his professionalism and strong character work, he earned a reputation as a working actor's actor. As of 2025, Paul Kavonis is 87 years old and enjoys a private life away from Hollywood. Nancy Fox appeared in Charlie's Angels as Eva in 1978 when she was 24 years old, guest starring in one of the show's intriguing episodic mysteries. Eva was a supporting character involved in a case that drew the Angels into a dangerous investigation, giving Fox the opportunity to showcase a performance that balanced vulnerability and tension. Though her role was brief, she added emotional weight to the episode's stakes and became one of the many memorable guest stars that contributed to the series' rotating cast of characters. Outside of Charlie's Angels, Nancy Fox appeared in a number of television shows throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, including guest spots on Barnaby Jones, Vega Dollars, and The Love Boat. Her work reflected the era's golden age of television. Guest acting, where she frequently portrayed young women caught up in suspenseful or dramatic circumstances. Fox largely stepped away from the entertainment industry after her acting career slowed in the 1980s, choosing a private life away from Hollywood. As of 2025, Nancy Fox is 71 years old and lives a quiet life outside of the public eye. L.Q. Jones appeared in Charlie's Angels in 1976 as Burdett when he was 49 years old, bringing his trademark rugged presence to the role. Burdett was a gruff, morally ambiguous character who provided a strong adversarial force for the Angels in one of the early episodes. His tough exterior, commanding voice, and imposing demeanor made him a memorable villain, heightening the stakes and giving the Angels a formidable challenge to overcome. Jones's performance lent the episode a gritty realism, showcasing his skill at portraying complex men who could be both menacing and strangely charismatic. Outside of Charlie's Angels, L.Q. Jones enjoyed a prolific career as a character actor, appearing in more than 60 films and countless television shows. He was a frequent collaborator with director Sam Peckinpah, appearing in classics such as The Wild Bunch, 1969, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, 1973, and Ride the High Country, 1962. Beyond acting, Jones directed and produced the acclaimed 1975 science fiction film A Boy and His Dog, which became a cult favorite and influenced later post-apocalyptic storytelling. Known for his wit and professionalism, he was married once to actress Nada S. Lewis, though the marriage ended in divorce and he had 3 children. L.Q. Jones passed away on July 9, 2022, at the age of 94 from natural causes, leaving behind a celebrated legacy as one of Hollywood's most enduring Western character actors. Zzz. Denny Miller appeared in Charlie's Angels in 1977 as Ed Fellows when he was 43 years old, using his tall, athletic frame and natural charisma to play a rugged and physically imposing character. Ed Fellows was caught up in one of the Angels' high-stakes cases, providing both tension and occasional humor as his true intentions were revealed. Miller's performance brought a touch of gravitas and charm, giving the episode a strong guest presence. Best known as the first blonde Tarzan in Tarzan, the Ape Man, 1959, Denny Miller enjoyed a wide-ranging career in film and television, appearing in series such as Wagon Train, Gilligan's Island, The Brady Bunch, and Magnum, P.I. He also became a familiar face in commercials, famously appearing as the Gorton's Fisherman. Outside of acting, Miller was an advocate for healthy living and authored Didn't You Used to Be? What's his name? A memoir chronicling his career. He was married twice, most recently to Nancy Miller, and had 2 children. Denny Miller passed away on September 9, 2014, at the age of 80 due to ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, leaving behind a legacy as a versatile actor who brought rugged charm to both heroic and villainous roles. O appeared in Charlie's Angels in 1980 as Lieutenant Torres when he was 48 years old, portraying a steadfast and disciplined police officer who often collaborated with the Angels. Lieutenant Torres was written as a figure of authority and mutual respect, representing law enforcement's cooperation with Charlie's team while occasionally clashing with their unconventional methods. Soon-Tech O's dignified performance lent the character credibility, making him a memorable recurring ally who helped ground the series in procedural realism. Outside of Charlie's Angels, Soon-Tech O was one of the most prominent Korean-American actors in Hollywood, appearing in films like The Man with the Golden Gun, 1974, Missing in Action 2, 1985, and lending his distinctive voice to Fa-Jo Mulan's father in Disney's Mulan, 1998, and its sequel. He was also a trailblazer for Asian American representation on television, guest starring in shows such as MASH, Hawaii Five-0, and Magnum P.I. O was married to Mickey Y.O. and was known for mentoring young Asian American actors and advocating for better roles for minorities in Hollywood. He passed away on April 4, 2018, at the age of 85 due to Alzheimer's disease, leaving behind a powerful legacy of breaking barriers for Asian performers. Norman Alden guest starred on Charlie's Angels in 1977 as Jake Barnett when he was 53 years old, playing a tough, weathered character who became central to the Angels' investigation. Alden's performance imbued Jake with a mix of grit and vulnerability, making him a sympathetic figure despite his rough edges. His ability to shift between drama and light humor gave the episode emotional texture and depth, making it one of the standout guest appearances of the season. Norman Alden had a long and varied career across film, television, and voice work, appearing in over 2,000 roles. He was known for playing Coach Leroy Fetters on Mary Hartman, and for his film work in Back to the Future, 1985, as Lou the cafe owner and Ed Wood, 1994. Alden also voiced Aquaman in the Super Friends animated series and appeared in countless commercials and guest spots throughout the 1960s to 1990s. He was married twice and had 2 children. Norman Alden passed away on July 27, 2012, at the age of 87 from natural causes, remembered as one of television's most versatile and dependable character actors. Cesare Donova guest starred in Charlie's Angels in 1976 as Franco Sorello when he was 50 years old. lending his trademark suave, aristocratic charm to the role. Franco was a polished, worldly figure whose ties to the Angels' investigation brought danger and intrigue to the episode's story. DeNova played him with a mix of charisma and quiet menace, giving the Angels a formidable challenge that required them to rely on their intelligence and teamwork to bring him down. His scenes were rich with tension, and his elegant screen presence elevated the entire episode. Cesare DeNova had a long and distinguished career, beginning in Italian cinema before moving to Hollywood, where he often played sophisticated gentlemen or cultured villains. Notable roles included Apollodorus in Cleopatra, 1963, Major Sergio in Von Ryan's Express, 1965, and Count Elmo Mancini in Disney's The Love Bug, 1968. He became a familiar face on American television, guest starring on Mission: Impossible Murder, She Wrote, and The Streets of San Francisco. Married twice, he was admired for his wit and European sophistication both on and off screen. Cesare DeNova passed away on March 19, 1992, at the age of 66 from a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy as one of Hollywood's most elegant and memorable character actors. Joseph Hacker guest starred in Charlie's Angels in 1978 as Eric Knight when he was 34 years old, portraying a character whose sophistication and mysterious edge played a key role in the Angels' investigation. Eric was involved in a suspenseful plot that tested the Angels' ability to trust those around them, and Hacker delivered a performance that balanced suavity with intrigue, making the character memorable despite appearing in a single episode. Joseph Hacker built a career as a reliable guest star during the late 1970s and early 1980s, appearing in television shows like Lou Grant, CHIPS, and The Rockford Files. His work was characterized by a polished screen presence that often saw him cast as professionals, villains, or morally complex figures. Though he never achieved household name status, Hacker earned respect in the industry for his consistent performances. After stepping back from the television work later in his career, he chose a more private life away from Hollywood. As of 2025, Joseph Hacker is 81 years old and lives quietly outside of the public spotlight. Lynn Marta guest starred in Charlie's Angels in 1978 as Linda when she was 33 years old, bringing an emotional depth and dramatic vulnerability to her character. Linda was a pivotal figure in her episode's mystery, and Marta's nuanced performance made her sympathetic and engaging, helping to drive the emotional weight of the storyline. Outside of Charlie's Angels, Lynn Marta had a prolific career in both film and television, with notable roles in Footloose, 1984, as Ethel's friend Lulu, Joe Kidd, 1972, opposite Clint Eastwood, and frequent appearances in popular shows such as Starsky and Hutch, Kojak, and The Love Boat. She also appeared on daytime television, including Days of Our Lives. Marta was known for her free-spirited personality and was once in a long-term relationship with actor David Soul during the height of his fame on Starsky and Hutch. She continued acting into the 1990s before largely stepping away from Hollywood. Lynn Marta passed away on January 11, 2024, at the age of 78 after a battle with cancer. Remembered by fans for her warmth, talent, and enduring contributions to television's golden era of guest stars. Gary Collins guest starred in Charlie's Angels in 1978 as Professor James Fairgate when he was 40 years old, portraying a respected academic whose connection to the Angels case was central to the mystery. Collins played Fairgate with intelligence and sincerity, giving the episode a layer of sophistication and grounding the drama with the emotional truth. His presence allowed for some of the show's more thoughtful and character-driven moments. Gary Collins enjoyed a multifaceted career as both an actor and television host. He starred in series such as The Sixth Sense, 1972, and Born Free, 1974, and appeared regularly in TV movies and guest roles. Collins became best known as the Emmy-winning host of Our Magazine, 1980 to 1988, where his warmth and charisma made him a daytime television favorite. He also co-hosted the Miss America pageant for several years. Off-screen, he was married to actress Mary Ann Mobley, Miss America 1959, with whom he had a daughter, Clancy Collins White. Collins was widely admired for his friendly personality and professional versatility. He passed away on October 13, 2012, at the age of 74 from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy as one of television's most approachable and enduring personalities. Gene Barry appeared in Charlie's Angels in 1977 as Frank Jason when he was 58 years old, bringing gravitas and a refined, commanding presence to the part. Frank Jason was a powerful, charismatic man at the center of the Angels' investigation, forcing them to unravel layers of deception, greed, and personal drama before bringing him to justice. Barry's natural sophistication made Jason both charming and morally ambiguous, giving the episode a distinctive sense of style. Gene Barry enjoyed one of the most illustrious careers of his generation, starring in hit television series like Bat Masterson, 1958 to 1961, and Burke's Law, 1963 to 1965, the latter earning him a Golden Globe Award. He was also the lead in the classic science fiction film The War of the Worlds, 1953, a role that cemented his place in pop culture history. Barry returned to acting well into the 1990s, reprising his role as Amos Burke in Burke's Law revival and making numerous guest appearances. He married Betty Claire Kalb in 1944, a union that lasted nearly 60 years, and they had 3 children together. Gene Barry passed away on December 9, 2009, at the age of 90 from heart failure, fondly remembered as one of television's most polished and enduring leading men. Michael Callan guest starred in Charlie's Angels in 1977 as Cass Harper when he was 41 years old, playing a smooth, charming character with a hidden agenda that kept the Angels guessing. Cass Harper was a charismatic operator whose presence added danger and mystery to the case, and Callan's playful yet cunning performance made him a standout guest star. His work gave the story emotional weight as the Angels had to outwit him in a thrilling climax. Michael Callan's career began on Broadway, where he originated the role of Riff in West Side Story before moving into film and television. He became a familiar face in the 1960s with roles in Cat Ballou, 1965, opposite Jane Fonda and Lee Marvin, The Interns, 1962, and Gidget Goes Hawaiian, 1961. He starred in the sitcom Occasional Wife, 1966 to 1967, and appeared in numerous television shows throughout the 1970s and 1980s. Known for his boyish charm and dancing talent, Callan was twice married and had 2 daughters. Michael Callan passed away on October 10, 2022, at the age of 86 from natural causes, leaving behind a lasting impression as a charismatic performer of stage and screen. Robert Loggia guest starred in Charlie's Angels in 1976 as Michael Durano when he was 46 years old, bringing his signature intensity and gravelly charisma to the part. Durano was a shrewd and dangerous antagonist whose ruthless actions placed the Angels in considerable peril, forcing them to use every skill they had to outmaneuver him. Loggia's magnetic screen presence gave Durano a layered complexity, making him as fascinating as he was menacing. Robert Loggia had an extraordinary career spanning more than 6 decades, known for his powerful performances in films such as Scarface, 1983, Jagged Edge, 1985, which earned him an Academy Award nomination, Big, 1988, and Prissie's Honor, 1985. He was also a familiar face on television, appearing in shows like Mancuso, FBI, The Sopranos, and Men of a Certain Age. Loggia married twice to Marjorie Sloan and later to Audrey Loggia, and had 3 children. Admired for his ability to shift seamlessly between heroic and villainous roles, Loggia became one of Hollywood's most respected character actors. He passed away on December 4, 2015, at the age of 85 due to complications of Alzheimer's disease, leaving behind an enduring legacy of unforgettable performances. Lloyd Bachner guest starred in Charlie's Angels in 1978 as Jellic when he was 54 years old, delivering a performance filled with menace and sophistication, Yellick was a smooth and calculating figure whose involvement in the Angels' case required them to outwit him through clever planning and teamwork. Bochner's distinctive voice, cultured demeanor, and ability to play morally ambiguous characters gave Yellick a magnetic presence, making him one of the show's more memorable villains. Outside of Charlie's Angels, Lloyd Bochner enjoyed a prolific career in television and film, best known for his role as Cecil Colby on Dynasty, and his iconic appearance in the Twilight Zone episode To Serve Man. He also voiced Mayor Hamilton Hill on Batman, the animated series, showcasing his unmistakable vocal talent. Bochner was active in Hollywood for over 4 decades, guest starring in nearly every major TV series of his era, from Mission Impossible to Murder, she wrote. He was married to actress Ruth Rower for many years and had 3 children, including actor Hart Bochner. Lloyd Bochner passed away on October 29, 2005, at the age of 81 from cancer, leaving behind a legacy as one of television's most versatile and cultured character actors. Dirk Benedict appeared in Charlie's Angels in 1977 as Barton when he was 32 years old, bringing his signature charm and youthful energy to the role. Barton was a charismatic and slightly mysterious figure whose connection to the case drew the Angels into a web of intrigue. Benedict's natural ease on camera made Barton likable and intriguing, and his performance added a spark to the episode that fans appreciated. Dirk Benedict went on to become a household name as Lieutenant Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica, 1978 to 1979, and as Templeton Faceman Peck in The A-Team, 1983 to 1987, roles that cemented him as one of television's most charismatic leading men of the era. In addition to acting, he became a director and author, writing books such as Confessions of a Kamikaze Cowboy that detailed his philosophy of health and living. Benedict married actress Toni Hudson in 1986, and they had 2 sons before divorcing. He also has a son from a previous relationship. Known for his good looks, humor, and philosophical outlook on life, Benedict remains a beloved figure in pop culture. As of 2025, Dirk Benedict is 80 years old and continues to make occasional appearances at fan conventions and in independent film projects. Who is your favorite character from Charlie's Angels? How do you feel knowing that some cast members are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated. We appreciate your support and are glad to have you as part of our community.